Welcome back, family. Hey, you might have missed us last week. We missed you. But that was because Cover Price did not have their top 10 list up on Monday. And by the time we saw it on Tuesday and then everything that was going on, we just didn't get to it. Sorry. But they got it up now, and we're going to do it. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, hey, in case you don't know and new to the channel, I'm Rich.
I'm Greg.
Yes, and we're just two pretty bored guys in the basement talking about comic books.
Speak for yourself and me.
Okay. All right, so why did I, you're in the basement, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's the boredom part you're talking about.
My life is not boring with these two kids.
Ah, you're Rugrats, yes. Okay, so last week, again, we didn't cover the top 10 because it was late, and this week now I'm sure, and I've already clicked on the page and scrolled all the way to the bottom, and I looked over and I could see number 10.
Oh.
I can't see. I'm sorry, I can't scroll any lower. But I can tell by looking at that, it's definitely going to be influenced by the Secret Invasion TV show.
Yeah, in case
I'm just going to say right now, based on reviews, don't buy anything Skrull or Secret Invasion related right now. It's going to drop. Ooh, boy. Shit.
Yeah. Well,
That got a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
the episode itself.
Yeah.
Well, should we get into it?
Yes, sir. All right, so coming in at number 10, we have Meet the Skrulls #1 from Marvel 2019. And this is on here because...
This is the first appearance of the Warners, which includes Gaia, who was featured throughout Secret Invasion. And
Spoiler.
spoiler alerts. She survived, so it's assumed that she will be working with Sonya moving forward in the MCU, which is good. I want to see more Sonya.
She was the one single bright spot throughout that whole series.
The one consistent,
writing, the
consistent
acting.
one. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, look,
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson did a great job acting with what he had. I just think that the writing was off. I think that it was, I don't know, anticlimactic, the last episode. But, yeah, I don't know how long they're going to keep Gaia, again, spoiler, sorry, as powerful as she is.
Yeah, I mean, what's her ceiling? And
Yeah.
yeah.
So, again, anything Skrull related right now, I'd hold off on it.
What are we looking at for prices? I didn't even... let's
Top
see.
weekly sale I see for a graded comic $130. That's, come on, load.
90. I'm
paid.
seeing 96. Oh,
I saw top weekly. Most
eight-
common slab, yeah.
fair market value 96. Last sale 80.
So it's already coming down.
That tells you, yeah. Yeah. There's a couple of variants. Probably one of my favorite Scotty Young covers that he does is this cover. It's like all
I see it. The lime greenish.
yeah, and a bunch of different mutants and Avengers and whatever's put together is kind of cool.
I mean, if you could find it in a raw, it says last sale of a raw is 28 for a near mint. Also, no, that's near mint. It says 9.6 to 10 for a raw. How do you substantiate that? Back in May for $28, but a near mint of a 9.0 to a 9.4 at 15.
Mm-hmm.
No grades listed 20, so figure that people are spending 20 on something that's listed as a near mint. 57.65 for 9.6, 80 for 9.8. Give it a couple of weeks, it'll be down to 60 for a 9.8.
I probably agree with that, with how it was received. Yeah.
Yeah, and I got a feeling that that there's going to be a bunch of these copies that are right now at CGC that they haven't even received back yet.
Yeah.
And they're going to be, you're going to wind up with a lot of people that are going to be getting these things and feel like they're stuck with it, just trying to get back the cost of grading.
Yeah. Oh, well.
So, yeah, I would stick away from that. So now we click back, and I'm ready to go to number 9. Are you?
Yes.
Okay, we have The Amazing Spider-Man, number 25, J. Scott Campbell, San Diego Comic-Con photo booth secret cover limited to 2,000.
This is just Scarcity, San Diego Comic-Con, and J. Scott Campbell wrapped into one, and that's why it's hot. In my opinion, at least.
I agree with you, and 2,000 is not as limited as some of the books I've seen from prior conventions that have dropped in price.
Yeah, sometimes you see 500 or even really 200 for some really rare ones.
I mean, of all the convention variants, how many actually hold their value? You got that yellow reverse negative, negative space Wolverine.
I love that one.
I love that one too. But they made a negative space Luke Skywalker at the same convention, which did not hold its value because that was print run of 1,000.
Well,
so
2,000.
This is 2,000.
They're asking for $100 raw.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the cover though.
Yeah, it's cute, cotton candy. Looks like it's got remarks on it already.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very
I kind of like the cover. It's cute, but yeah, I'll wait for it to drop down to $30 before I go looking for a copy. I don't think that's going to hold any value.
I'm going to guess that it will. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I like that. Coming in number 8, we have scroll. Spawn, number 1.
Another
Puppeteer Lee from San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, this is just a darker, more oil painty take on the regular cover one.
Yeah, and I don't see anything about a production run on this. I don't like it.
I think it's fine.
I mean, it doesn't jump out at me. Looks like a dirty version of number 1.
Yeah, but if you guys know anything, it's that Rich, and generally I don't like the new distressed or new...
Distressed, there you go.
Anything but we're very clean-cut enjoyers.
Yes, we are gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I see somebody pre-sold a 9.8 for $275.
Wow.
Yeah. Without knowing a production run on this, I'm afraid to make any kind of call. But Spawn has a very dedicated following to it, and we've been teased with a new Spawn movie for years. God forbid, all of a sudden news breaks in the next 2 months. But
I don't think so.
No, I'll pass on it.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're a Spawn guy, and it's like you collect that stuff. But for a general comic collector, I think like Rich and I, nah.
I'll tell you right now, after the first 3 choices, I'm kind of worried about our gun to the head pick. Eesh. Okay, number 7. Biker Mice from Mars.
Hell yeah.
This is still on the list. Wow. This was on the list a few months ago because of option news.
Yeah.
And I think it was like 6 months ago it was on the list, and now it's jumped back up again. And we got 9.8s. Last sale at $300 for 9.8s. And $35 for near mint sales. 34, 40, about $40 for a raw. There's got to be a lot of dollar bin boxes out there with these things still in it.
I don't know if it was. I don't know how hard it was printed. But there's a 400% increase in copies sold this week because it was announced that Ryan Reynolds would co-produce the animated reboot.
Okay, interesting. Which means we're still at least a year and a half away from seeing anything, even if they end the strikes today.
Yeah. This is a book that I really want because I'm into the my childhood cartoon comics. I got the Power Rangers, Darkwing Duck, Sonic the Hedgehog, Captain America, or not Captain America, Captain Planet. So I would love this book too. So
You
I'm glad
watched this as a cartoon when you were young?
yeah.
I never heard of it.
Biker Mice from Mars had Rob Paulson in the lead role.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm glad it's going to be a while till this comes out because I want it to go down so I can get it.
Yeah, I really think it will. But raw prices, I mean, if you just look, well, that breaking news is what really drove it. But if you look at the 9.8 sale right before it was $99.
Yeah, I would definitely pay that.
Yeah. So would a lot of other people, I think. But it looks like raws are
book now.
selling recently for $20 to $30, maybe a 40 here. I wouldn't spend 40 on a raw unless I was at a show and I could actually see it
Yeah.
and judge it myself. An eBay listing, I wouldn't want to go over 20, 25.
I'm with
Unless
you.
guy has impeccable ratings. You know, like other people that have bought from him that I know that say, yes, this guy sells, it's a 9.8.
Yeah.
Getting scared. Coming in at number 6, we get The Incredible Hulk number 2. Interesting. Okay, so this is actually I think this was on the list that appeared late last week because we have a first full appearance or something,
Yes.
which is not even listed here. But.
Cover A. This is the 1 in 25.
Ah, okay.
And it's
I see it.
really,
Francis Liu.
it's really a cool cover. I like it. If you enlarge it, you can see it's got it's got the lady, but then it's got sort of a horror-y Hulk in the back there, made out of the foliage and branches and moons.
Yep, I see it. It does look good. That's somebody who took time into what they were drawing. I like that.
Yeah.
So it's a 1 in 25, and it's selling for last sale $38. FMV of 52, so it's already gone down a little bit. The new Hulk run seems to be getting a lot of attention, which makes me think that there were a lot of copies printed of number 2, which makes me think there's a lot of 1 in 25s.
It's possible, but I mean, it's a cool cover. It's unique.
Yeah, on the 24th, it sold for $79. Now it's selling on the 30th, it sold for $38. So it dropped already by 50% in 6 days. I'd be looking to pay ratio on it. It is a cool cover, but I'd be looking to pay $25. So I would want to wait another week or so.
I think it's going to go up from there.
Well,
So
we'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? We're at number 6. We finished the first 5 comic books. You know what that means, right?
Time for a Patreon break. Thank you, patrons, for being our patrons.
Coconuts.
Yeah, our coconut patrons.
Here's a special screen dedicated just for you.
All right, we're back.
in? Hey! So if you'd like to see your name there with everybody else and watch us stumble over the English language just trying to say thank you, it's just go over to Patreon for Team Ohana. It is a measly $3 a month to help join and support the channel. You get free comics, additional books on Free Comic Book Day, additional picks for our Remember Me, early access to our videos, and our watch-along videos are only on Patreon. We don't put them on YouTube anymore. Again, $3 a month.
Yeah.
So you get more than that, absolutely, just for being a member.
And bonus picks if you win on New Comic Book Day, too.
Yep.
So
let's start. Let's get into the top 5. Coming in at number 5. Hey, cool. This one's in the box I'm sending out to CGC today.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2099. Glad to see this is still on the list. This is a tough book in a 9.8 because of the foil.
I'm really curious.
I'll be
to see
honest,
what you're gonna get
I don't
back.
think I'm going to get one. I'm hoping, but I don't think I'm going to get one.
Oh, okay. It's a great cover. I love it.
Yeah. The character was really well received, but I did hear that the third movie in the trilogy is being delayed.
I told you.
Yep.
Yeah. So
It's official now.
That's great for us buyers because, like we've been saying, I think for probably 2 months now, or since the movie came out. If you really want this book and you want to get the best deal possible, make it a Halloween treat to yourself.
Yes, and especially if you look right now, you look at the last recorded sale of a CGC 9.9, it was $26. I think that might be wrong.
I was listening intently to you, and then I had to do double take. Yeah, fair market value, $26.
Well, because it's the only sale. I don't even know if there actually is a 9.9. There probably is if it's a foil book.
Yeah, they're a little thicker. 200, about 200 for 9.8. I feel like that's gone up.
Actually, if you look at the 9.9, there's $3,500, $2,300, and then $26. So how do they say fair market value is only $26? Shouldn't it be at least some kind of an average?
I think the data is over a year old, so they ignore it for the other ones.
But we're still looking around the $200 mark, though, for a 9.8.
Yeah. So, just wait. Wait for that.
Yeah.
Wait for that 9.8.
And be honest, if you really, really, really want this book in your collection, and you don't mind waiting at all for a long, long term, wait till after the third movie comes out. But
that's a long wait.
Yeah, that's a long wait. But that's when it'll be its lowest point, I think.
Probably, yeah. Unless there's some,
yeah, some kind of news about a live action.
Right.
Okay, moving on up the list. Number 4, we got Transformers #1 from San Diego Comic-Con.
Yep.
Oh, this is the one that's got like Marty McFly on it or something? I think I heard something about that.
Yeah, if you click on it and it expands and you can see Marty McFly sitting on Optimus's shoulder there.
Yeah. Why? Are they putting Back to the Future in the same universe with them now?
I don't know. But Daniel Warren Johnson did this cover. So that's hot. SDCC.
You know what would really make this hot if this book went crazy? If Michael J. Fox signed up for a signing.
Well, yeah. That would, yeah. Christopher Lloyd was at GalaxyCon this weekend that I went to.
But he's not on the book.
No.
There is a black and white version also, which is going for $200.
Yeah, because it's no color is cooler than color, I guess. That's another thing Rich and I have in common. Give us color.
Depending upon the book. Yeah, depending upon the book. Some do look good. If you got that like Spider-Man noir idea or something like that. But maybe this one's a lot less printed. I don't know. Again, I have put no faith in the convention books. So $85 for this book. $120 for the last sale. For a near mint one, $729. I'm not buying it, especially if I don't know the print run.
I would try to find out the print run if I had a reason to buy it.
Yeah.
If I was a diehard Daniel Warren Johnson or Transformers and Back to the Future guy, it might make sense to just do some research on it at least, but not for me personally.
Let me tell you, if they had a show that had Peter Cullen and Michael J. Fox signing, this book could be $5,000. So
yeah.
Okay, coming up to number 3, man. I want to see something cool.
There you go.
There we go. I actually have 2 copies, but I'm only sending one into CGC.
Why?
Because I'm looking at the second copy, and it does not have the same. The other one's wrapped already. This kind of looks yellowish in comparison.
It's not the bag?
Nope. It's not the bag. It's because there's the white of the backboard. This is like one of those yellow teeth staining tests. I'm like, hey, my teeth look great. Just because the book is really yellow. I held the 2 of them side by side as raw books, and I'm like, that's not even close.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't even call this an off-white. It would just be, I mean, I wouldn't call it off-white to white. It's a straight off-white.
Yeah.
So I pulled that one out, but I do have one copy of this going in, and I really do like the cover art on this thing, though.
Ironically, it's mostly black and white.
Yes.
This is the first cover appearance of Muse.
Yes, which the character is already dead in the comic books.
Yeah, but Marvel always changes stuff, you know. Or
Yeah.
MCU always tweaks stuff.
So they, instead of it being one 18-episode season 1, they're breaking it into 2 9-episode sub-arcs. And the rumors, and supposedly verified, but I don't know by who, is that Muse is going to be the villain in the first arc. So if he's not in the second arc, I think he's getting killed off there too. What really makes this great is Muse is one of the most brutal. He's like Punisher level. So why would you take this character and then dull him down when you could take any other character? I think they're really trying to make a statement with their TVMA rating and say, yes, we're going to make this bloody and gory and adultish, and we're going to take the worst criminal we can think of. Because if they dull him down, it's going to come across worse than Secret Invasion.
Well, especially because of what we had before.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest slap in the face. It's not like this is a new series starting without any history. So,
I mean, and I did hear that John Bernthal is confirmed to be in the series as well. Bernthal has expressed multiple times that he would love to play the Punisher again, but only if it's done right. Mm-hmm. And by right, he means no, don't hold back. It's got to be
true to what he feels is the character.
Yeah, not blood and guts for the sake of blood and guts, but there's times where you have to throw it in there to really show how brutal somebody can be.
Yeah.
And they've gotten, they've touched on it a little bit. They did a little bit in Secret Invasion. They did it in the Werewolf by Night special. But that was black and white, and that was Skrull purple blood. You haven't seen that red blood yet.
In general, you mean? I think we saw a pool of red blood forming under Maria Hill after she was shot.
Yeah. I'm thinking spatter, but yes, you are right about the pool of red blood.
I guess it's less violent than splatter.
Brain matter on a
whatever
wall.
it is. Yeah.
But investability on this, super hot right now. I'm already seeing prices coming down a little bit on this. Number 11 is the first appearance. Number 14 is his first cover appearance. There's a lot of people selling both books together on eBay. Again, prices are already starting to come down. They will go back up when they say who's cast for it, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're not going to say who's cast because there's a strike. So you got some time for it to come back down again. You're hitting that initial hype. I bought a few copies as it was going up. It's, it's coming down. It hasn't come down to where I paid, so I'm okay. But I wouldn't pay the $30 yet on 14. I'd be looking to try to buy both 11 and 14 together for like $30.
That sounds fair. Yeah.
Coming in at number 2. Batman Gargoyle of Gotham at number 1, Ashcan edition. Okay, so based on this, I've got a feeling I know what number 1 is.
I tried to research this beforehand, and I can't find why this is so hot.
Just came out. Well, Ashcans are lower print, right?
Yeah. I guess that's why. I really like the Frank... I can't believe I'm saying this. I really like the Frank Miller cover C. It's colored by Jock, the artist. And I think that's what really elevates it for me.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to know what the Frank Miller cover M 1 and 250 looks like. That's a pre-release, it says. These are all pre-releases. The book isn't even out yet.
Yeah.
So they just got the Ashcan edition of a book that hasn't even released yet. When is number 1 actually coming out? September.
Yeah,
oh, God.
That must have been like July 19th. Was that during San Diego?
Yeah.
That must have been a giveaway there, or available to purchase there.
Yeah, and since it's lower print, people are like, Batman, I can't find any. There must be sold out. Hype for hype's sake.
Yeah.
No grade on the 30th, $55. Prior to that, $20, $35. Prices are kind of all over the place. Ash cans, again, no print run, I don't know. But if I'm going to invest in any of the San Diego Comic-Con books without knowing a print run, it would probably be this one because it's the lowest price.
Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have much more info on it. I just couldn't find anything.
No, that's fine. I didn't even know what it was when I scrolled up there. Let's move up to number 1. It's Daredevil number 11. First appearance. This is a cover A. First appearance of Muse. I have 2 copies of this in my CTC submission, both looking crispy. So I'm hoping on that.
First appearance of Muse, a serial killer whose victims are used as his art.
Yes.
Bloodily.
Yeah, like he'll incorporate their heads.
Yeah.
So, I like horror films. I don't specifically go and watch just for blood and guts. But I am anxious to see, are they going to push that envelope? Or are they going to be Disney? I need to know this because if they're not willing to cross those thresholds, then a killer with adamantium claws doesn't have much of a future in my eyes.
Yeah, that's fair.
With a berserker rage. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And
I rewatched Deadpool 1 and 2 last night.
They're pretty violent.
Yeah, but I want to see Disney Marvel do it.
I know, but if they did that level of violence, I would be satisfied. I feel like that wouldn't be considered holding back.
Yeah, and I don't need to see every single movie. I just want to know, are they willing to do it?
Yeah.
And I think by picking this character,
that's a sign.
It's a sign that they have to. So.
Yeah, because there's nothing else he does. Like that's his identity.
Yeah. And this again, this book also is coming down. People are finding it in a lot of the back issue book boxes. It says top weekly sale is $66. Nope.
Whoa.
Let's see. The most recent sales I've seen today, $25 for Near Mint. So, no grade, 25 yesterday. People pre-selling 9.8s. Or no, it's not a pre-sale. 125, but that was on the 12th, and that predates the notice. I think that when I first heard it, I went online and looked for how much it was. I'm like, wow, somebody bought one yesterday. This is everybody that's got these things, every store, everybody with big collections, they're yanking them out. They're sending them in right now for CGC.
Yes.
So in 2 months, you're going to see a bunch of these. Don't buy the first ones on eBay. Wait.
Yeah. It's delicate, though, because there's not that many. When this first came out, and news first came out, like, there were not that many listings. So I'd be curious to see what the offering would be once we pass this 1 month, 1.5 month period where the returns are coming back.
Now, and I will say that if you still look, though, you can find those bargains. The reason I'm sending in an 11 and a 14 is because after the news broke, after eBay dried up of every copy of number 11 for under $55, somebody listed, and I immediately clicked on the buy it now. Didn't even make an offer, just bought it now. Issues 1 through 18 and annual number 1 was $27. I'm like, click, thank you. I bought it. And a couple of the issues have some spine ticks, but 11 and 14 are perfect. So not only do I have these books that I can now read and have the entire story, but I have a couple of books that I can have graded.
Yeah.
And I'm using my membership $150 credit. So I'm sending in 8 books. And with shipping and handling, it's coming out to $80. $10 a book.
Nice. Very good.
So, but yeah, this book definitely can have a great future if this becomes the turning point or the point where MCU, Marvel / Disney, whichever, says, yes, we are willing to make stuff for the adults.
Yeah.
Not.
Well, we're willing to host it on the platform, so that's a step.
Absolutely. All right, so we've hit our our top 10. It's time for our
No.
gun to the head, and I'm not looking forward to this week, man.
Yeah, this was I've been secretly researching a little, or re-going over them a little bit while you've been talking. It's prepping for this.
Yeah, I'm actually multitasking. I'm talking and going, what am I going to pick? What am I going to pick? I think I picked last week first, didn't I?
All right, I'll go first.
Good.
I would search for the best raw copy of Biker Mice from Mars that I could find.
Okay. I'm glad we didn't take the same book.
Yeah, I would be willing to spend probably a little more than I should, but probably like 30, maybe 35 bucks if I was like sure that this would be like at least a 9.6. Please make it a 9.8. But yeah, raw Biker Mice from Mars is for me.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a cool cover. It's been on the list multiple times. You've got a good future in this, and you've got a personal connection to it.
Exactly that. That's what put it over the edge for me to make it my pick.
Okay. Now, I'm just going to look at the last sale on this so I get an idea how much I would actually be spending. Okay. Last sale of $35, I would be willing to do if I found a really nice copy, and it's a black book, so it's not going to be that. I'm going to see what's wrong with it. I'd go with that Batman Gargoyle of Gotham Ashcan edition. Some Ashcans actually hold value. People are going to be looking for San Diego Comic-Con books. And this has not been a great San Diego Comic-Con. There was no Marvel, there was no movie premieres or anything else because of the actor strike and the writer strike. Nothing against them. I'm glad they're striking. I hope they get what's coming to them. I do. I want them to at least be able to pay for their apartments, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the world is kind of on hold while it's being resolved.
Yep.
I don't think that anybody is really going to be overly like, oh man, I want this book to remember this convention. I don't think people are like, yeah, this is not the convention they want to remember. So in lieu of that, I'm willing to part with $35, maybe 40 if it looks beautiful. I would take the Gargoyle of Gotham Batman Ashcan edition, because if the series does turn out really well, the Ashcans usually reflect that in collectability.
There you go. Very different week this week.
God, we did not pick the same book, because I did not have a second choice on this.
I think my second would have been that Hulk 1 in 25. If we had to. But
I think there's going to be too many copies of it. That's just me, though, because everybody's into the new Hulk run because of the annual. Then number 1 went really well, so people are immediately going to subscribe to it.
Yeah,
and after 5 or 6 issues, they unsubscribe because it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with this week. It's just
cool. So don't forget to check us out on Patreon. Patreon.com/Team Ohana. Where you're going to get access to check it to so many things that you can check out before when we had the break that Rich already laid out for you. Take it away, Rich.
I was going to just bounce them back and forth. I was going to say, don't forget to check us out on our podcast, where any place like Spotify, wherever you find them, check out Team Ohana. You'll find our back issue book club. Your turn.
Check out the Etsy. I don't know the URL by heart because it's fancy, but it's down there in the description.
If you want a T-shirt or a hat, and it's two-sided, so people know who you're a fan of, coming and going.
Yep.
Okay. Check us out on Instagram, Team Ohana Family, because somebody else already grabbed Team Ohana. I don't know who.
I believe that's it.
Oh, well, then that's fine. How about clicking notifications, click on subscribe, and just drop a comment down below. What do you think of this list? Are you mad at us for missing last week? Are you looking forward to next week? We want to know. All right, so guys, we're going to wrap this up so we can make the next video. Thank you for joining us. Until we see you in the next one, because you're going to be there. Mahalo.